Nedlands Council started to spiral after it voted to block a parkland next to a hospice for terminally ill children on a Class A nature reserve. After an unrelenting backlash, 4 councillors quit en masse, timed for when the mayor was overseas.
Look, I'm a globalised girl with almost 3 university degrees that can speak 2 languages. If they want to put that on me, that's their business.
So as Local Government Minister, I will be putting an end to the saga of dysfunction and disunity that has been plaguing the city for some time now, and I will be appointing a series of commissioners.
3 were appointed, including Chief Commissioner David Caddy, a former Nedlands Deputy Mayor. Mr Caddy's main concern, a draft budget that's now overdue and staff shortages.
We've got a situation where there are 12 people in the Finance Department, and there are 5 vacancies at the moment, and 2 of those are very high-level vacancies. And it's simply a matter of not being able to get the work done.
In the middle of all of this, the Public Sector Commission has referred concerns about the City of Nedlands to the Corruption and Crime Commission.
I dare say we weren't shocked. It was a surprise, as it was to the Minister.
You say you weren't shocked. Why weren't you shocked?
I don't think it's something to be shocked by.
Why is that?
I won't say that we were expecting it, because we definitely weren't, but given that there are certain things being said about the City of Nedlands and the way it's been operating, it wasn't a surprise that someone had made that referral.
The clock ticking to get the council in order before the Nedlands election in March. Local Government Minister Hannah Beazley, welcome to Stateline.
Thank you very much. It's an absolute pleasure to be here, Courtney.
The government's known about the problems in Nedlands Council for quite some time now. Why has it taken so long to intervene?
I have been concerned about the City of Nedlands for some time now. I've made no secret of that. At the moment, the Act is quite rigid in terms of the thresholds that can be met before I can take action. When a total of 5 councillors resigned and the council lost quorum, that was a threshold issue for me that I could step in. And at that point, I immediately stepped in, took decisive action and appointed a panel of 3 commissioners. It's also why I'm really keen to advance our local government reform because that would be able to step into this space a lot earlier.
Were you pleased when those 4 councillors resigned on the same day earlier in July?
I completely understood why they made that decision and I was pleased for the opportunity to be able to step in and appoint commissioners and ensure stability and good governance at the City of Nedlands, and that decisions could be made that needed to be made in order to continue to provide services and financial viability to the city.
A Department of Local Government investigation has been looking into the functioning of the council and the behaviours that were on display since May this year. Will those findings be made public?
So that's an internal investigation. It is around sort of dysfunction, but how non-compliance with the Act informs that dysfunction, and was non-compliance a root issue of that dysfunction or vice versa. And so those internal investigations, which are really quite procedural, are not usually made public because they are internal. It is certainly a report that I'm going to be devouring with great interest to see if there's anything there that needs actioning, as well as sharing it with the commissioners for the exact same reasons.
Given these circumstances though, don't you think Nedlands ratepayers have a right to understand what that investigation has been looking into and those findings? I
completely understand. Without seeing the report, it's really difficult for me to provide context, so I'm not ruling anything in or out, but without knowing what's in the content of that report and knowing how procedural these sort of first steps investigations usually are, I will be keeping it internal as I review it.
Were you surprised that things have been so bad at the City of Nedlands that it was referred to the state's corruption watchdog?
If that's the case, it is very, very concerning. Look, the CCC is necessarily and appropriately an independent body. They don't have any need to report to government if something has been referred to them or if something is under investigation. So that is all I know about the matter, and if something has been referred, it is very concerning to me.
Do we need more regulation of local government to prevent something like this happening again?
So that's what our local government reform will undertake. So the next step of that reform, which is the biggest reform to the sector in 25 years, is the establishment of the Office of the Inspector and the appointment of the Inspector themselves. Now, under that inspector, there'll be a panel of monitors who have all various sorts of qualifications and expertise, which allows for both early intervention and also at the other end of that scale, the dealing with dysfunction. It also has a set of adjudicators that can come in and escalate where there are issues and be able to provide advice regarding penalties and infringements.
Local Government Minister Hannah Beazley, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.